Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion, but the reality is she's just not stable.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Did Rachel Zegler single-handedly tank Disney's Snow White, or was she the fall guy for a studio spiraling out of control? This isn't just a movie flop, it's a Hollywood firestorm that's left fans furious, executives scrambling, and one young star at the center of a $250 million disaster. Let's unravel the chaos, from racist casting backlash to whispers of a secret escape to Dubai, and figure out what really went wrong.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, "Every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one." Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck for, cry me a river? She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Disney had big dreams for its live-action Snow White, released in March 2025. Pegged as a modern take on the 1937 classic, it boasted a $250 million budget, new songs, and a star-studded cast led by Rachel Zegler as the iconic princess and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. Analysts predicted a box office juggernaut, banking on nostalgia and Disney's remake magic. But when the curtains fell, the film barely scraped $169 million worldwide, marking it as the studio's biggest live-action flop ever. What happened to the fairy tale? The answer starts with a casting choice that lit a match.
Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done. And
I mean, they're projected to lose between $200 and $400 million on this.
The thing that really shocks me about this story, Disney and all these media companies, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these projects, right? Have they ever thought about maybe a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Rachel Zegler, a 23-year-old Latina actress, was cast as Snow White, a character historically depicted as pale-skinned. The announcement triggered a vicious online backlash, with trolls hurling racist insults, claiming she didn't fit the role. Zegler clapped back, defending her casting and calling out the hate, but the damage was done. Social media erupted with hashtags like "Not My Snow White" trending. This wasn't new for Disney. Halle Bailey faced similar vitriol for The Little Mermaid, but it set a toxic tone for the film's rollout, and that was just the beginning of the storm.
There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, "Yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her." And she did it and got millions of views, and they were like, "Good job, Rachel." And then she, minutes later, followed it up with, "And never forget, free Palestine."
Then came Zegler's press tour, where she didn't hold back. At the 2022 D23 Expo, she called the original Snow White weird, slamming its focus on a stalker prince and a love story she deemed outdated. She pitched the remake as a feminist reboot, with Snow White dreaming of leadership, not romance. Fans of the classic felt betrayed, accusing her of disrespecting Disney's legacy. Even David Hand Jr., son of the 1937 film's director, said Walt Disney would be turning in his grave. Zegler's words didn't just spark debate, they ignited a fan base ready to boycott, but the real chaos was yet to come.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Thanks.
Enter the political firestorm. Zegler, an outspoken advocate for Palestine, posted Free Palestine on X just days after the Snow White trailer dropped, clashing with co-star Gal Gadot, a proud Israeli and former IDF soldier. The timing couldn't have been worse, as Middle Eastern countries like Lebanon banned the film over Gadot's involvement, while others called for boycotts over Zegler's stance. Zegler doubled down with anti-Trump posts, including a fiery "Fiat Donald Trump" on Instagram after his 2024 election win. For a Disney film banking on universal appeal, this was a marketing nightmare. Fans split into camps, and the film became a cultural lightning rod. But how did it play out at the box office?
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Get on across. Hold on. Here. Hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rachel.
The numbers tell a brutal story. Snow White opened to a measly $43 million domestically, far below projections. Critics panned it with a 40% Rotten Tomatoes score and a 1.6 out of 10 on IMDb, where review bombing ran rampant. Audiences slammed the CGI dwarfs, a weak script, and an ending that felt flat, compared to hits like Beauty and the Beast, which grossed over $1 billion, or even The Little Mermaid's modest $569 million. Snow White was a catastrophe. Disney's expected to lose up to $250 million, and the fallout didn't stop there. Insiders say the studio turned on its star.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
Reports surfaced that Disney held emergency meetings to pin down Zegler's role in the disaster. Executives allegedly argued her comments and social media posts violated PR clauses in her contract, alienating fans and tanking the film's appeal. Whispers of legal action emerged, with talk of clawing back bonuses or even demanding Zegler cover part of the losses. One exec reportedly said she burned down $1 billion brand with her own words. Disney's PR team took over, crafting a polished apology posted from Zegler's accounts, but fans called it robotic, lacking her voice. The apology didn't quell the outrage, it fanned it, and then Zegler vanished. Rumors exploded that Zegler fled to Dubai, boarding an international flight just as Disney's demands hit the press. X-Posts claimed she was dodging legal heat, with one user alleging Disney demanded $120 million in restitution. These claims remain unconfirmed, but her social media silence and lack of public sightings fueled speculation. Was she hiding from lawyers, retreating from the spotlight, or just taking a break? Social media sleuths tracked private jets and scrubbed posts, but no concrete evidence pinned her location. What's clear is her absence left a void, and the questions kept piling up, but not everyone's pointing fingers. Zegler found defenders in Hollywood and beyond. Actress Melissa Barrera, fired from Scream 7 over Palestine posts, called out a Variety piece as a hit piece targeting Zegler. Pop star Lily Allen, on her Miss Me podcast, argued Zegler's boldness mirrors Disney's own stories of standing up to adversity. Some fans rallied, saying she's a scapegoat for Disney's missteps, from a flawed script to tone-deaf marketing. They point to the studio's string of remake flops like Cruella and Jungle Cruise as proof the problem's bigger than one actress. But with the film's failure rippling, what's next for Disney and Zegler? The Snow White debacle has Disney rethinking its live-action strategy. Plans for a Tangled remake are on hold, and upcoming projects like Lilo and Stitch, set for May 2025, face intense scrutiny. For Zegler, the future's murkier. Once hailed as a rising star with roles in West Side Story and The Hunger Games, she's now in a reputation freefall, with producers reportedly wary of her baggage. Yet she's booked for Broadway's Evita in July 2025, signaling she's not done. Her camp's quiet, with some pushing for a comeback, others urging her to lay low. The industry's watching closely, and her next move could make or break her. So, where does this leave us? Rachel Zegler's at the heart of a Hollywood saga, part culture war, part corporate meltdown. Was she reckless, or was Disney's gamble on a risky reboot the real misstep? One thing's certain, this fairy tale didn't get a happy ending. Can Zegler rewrite her story, or is Disney's remake machine running out of magic? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for the latest on Hollywood's wildest dramas. This story's far from over.